Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturns. My last bowl I microwave dried to get it to a finished state. It seemed to be quite successful, so I'll try it again. This time as with a bigger piece of wood. Again, I have a big stack of apricot, so that's what I'm going to use. Let's see what we can do with this one.
And here we go. With such a large piece of wood, I wanted the protection of the guard that comes on the lathe. Although it obscures the camera view, I value my personal safety, and having a large hunk of very heavy wet wood would fly off if it were to hit me. It would really not make my day at all, ruin my day. I started at the center with pull cuts, just trying to find consistent wood. The bark comes off very quickly, but there's a significant layer of very wet, very soft sapwood. As it turns out, I'll turn most of that off, just trying to find the shape of the bowl that's in this piece of wood. It would be nice if the wood were nice and concentric and round, but in actuality, it's not. And this one seems to have a hump on one side that has to be turned to find the round. It's evidenced by little pockets of bark that show up here on both sides of the hump, and I have to turn it down a little bit more to get those out of there and get the roundness that I want in the bowl. This one I'm going to microwave dry. The last one was a small one that I did on the microwave and it seemed to be successful. This has a lot more mass, a lot more moisture in it. So I'm going to use the microwave. I'll put the microwave outside because I don't want to risk any fire inside the house. So we'll dry it that way. There's not a lot of focus here in getting the final shape because it will dry. I will need to turn off any checks that show up in the process. Now I have a strong fear of going too deep when I turn a bowl. So once I flip it over, in this case I will chuck up a Forstner bit in the tailstock and then use the adjustment on the tailstock to drive the bit in. I'll have to drive it in, back it out to clear shavings, drive it in again a couple of times to get it to the depth, but that will alleviate my fear of going too deep, and it'll do a nice job. The downside of that is that the gouge will fall into the hole at the end of the stroke. Otherwise, it would be a more smooth stroke and end up nicely. But it's just a small price to have the depth defined, and I don't have to worry about going too deep, just stopping when I should. For drying in the microwave, I thought I'd try very long cycles at very low power and see if that could drive the moisture out. But my microwave would only go 59 minutes and 59 seconds per cycle. And as I said, I wanted it outside in case of any fire risk. After about 18 one-hour cycles at 10% power, the wood was barely warm at all. So I cranked it up to 20% power and did another 14 one-hour cycles. That's at 20% power. I got a lot of water out of it. The original weight was 2,040 grams, and after all of the cycles it was 1,813 grams. That's only an 11% loss, so it's obviously not enough. But at the same point in time, I noticed it had some very nasty checks and drying cracks in the bowl itself. So I'm disappointed. So I didn't continue to microwave it anymore. So I put it in a paper sack, left it alone for a week, waited again. After a week, it's down to another 10% of moisture loss, so that's a total of 21%. I'm thinking it has at least 30% moisture content that I need to drive out. So it's not enough. At this point, I'm not going to microwave it anymore. I'll just let it dry in the sack, and then I'll have to address the checks and see if I can get something salvageable out of this bowl once it is really dry. So I'm not thrilled with the results on the microwave. Obviously, I don't have the process down for it. But so patience does have its place, working with green wood. See what we get.